I wanted to do a streaming video, no editing, so it's going to have boring bits, so just skip through them. I'm not going to do the editing and all that stuff, so sorry about that. But I just wanted to show how I am approaching this and how I think it's still very feasible for a new player, assuming they, are not like level 1. You need to be several hundred, 300, 400, 500, most likely, so that you have sufficient perks, legendary perks, taking one for the team, things like that. But I just wanted to show you that it is possible to either come close to completing it or actually completing it. Like, I just cleared it and I died, but I actually killed him. So, and I did this using sort of like what I call a baby axe, and that is this weapon right here, right? It has this is basically what I started this whole thing with a few weeks ago. Anti-armor, heavy hitter strength, it was electrified, and one thing I'm just now seeing is I probably could have done better job this previous time if I had replaced a few things here. Let's just go for broke here and say I want science perks here because that helps electrified, and I didn't have that just a short while ago. This is actually how I started. Mine was electrified, and then I'm going to go with a rank 4 makeshift warrior so that it lasted a little bit longer. This is how I was set up, right? So I had first aid, batteries included, science expert, science master, makeshift warrior. Okay, all good. So what you want to do is you want to get your strength up as high as you can get it. Now, right now, I'm using a set of power armor that is sort of like what I started with, which was just a mishmash. So I've got an ultrasight, a T51B, X01, and if you inspect these, you can see by the numbers here, I don't want to rename it, but here it says ultrasight torso armor. And if I go here, it's T51 left arm armor. That one has strength. This one has charisma. You basically want all 5 of these to have strength. So there's 1 strength here. That's good. Then charisma and powered. Now, the reason I put this set together is because I want my alts to be able to do this. So it has to be a non-bound set. So I've been collecting these pieces that have troubleshooter on them in the hopes that I could sort of cobble together a set that they could share. Because the one I started on, I had troubleshooter armor and I just blitzed out with all strength, and I forget what the 3rd star was. I think it didn't matter, but it was just troubleshooter and all strength. So I had 8 more strength on that set than I do here. So keep that in mind. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first show you just a quick run through. I'm just going to do it real quick. That way you can just see that it's doable, right? I'm not going to super detail what I'm doing just yet, but this is my particular technique. And I'm going slowly here so you can sort of watch what I'm doing. And right now I'm going to start with my existing sledge. This is the exact same sledge, exactly how I made it the very first time. It's never changed. The only things that matter are the crippling and the limb damage, right? So I've got crippling 2nd star, 50% limb damage is what that gives you. Then the item itself has 25% limb damage, armor pen, chance to cripple target, which comes from like the innate sledge plus this heavy spiked rocket mod that you can either learn or you can buy the mod for it. Somehow I just know it because I've been playing for years. Okay, so I'm going to start with that. Then I'm going to swap to my baby axe. I'm going to drop this. I don't want to carry that around. And this baby axe, I'm going to have to go replace that. Of course, is sort of the way I had it set up before. Let's do this again because I'm talking too long. Just want you to know I'm not cheating. I'm not grabbing any really powerful things. I have them bound to 1, 2, and I'm going to swap to this for the int at the XP, or at the end. So I'm going to go over here, jump over. I'm going to crouch, put my little yellow square right on that yellow back of that armor right there. and go out to third person. Now, I did this for about an hour and a half earlier today, and he tried to knock me off, but he never successfully knocked me off. So he would knock me back a little bit, but I would never fall off. So you can see it's a very survivable first phase. I'm going to swap to my baby axe. We'll see how far I can get. This is about the kind of numbers I was seeing when I first started out. Now at this point you're like, oh God, oh God, oh God, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. It's gonna kill me. But really about 750 is a good number to survive the fight, as long as you don't run out of AP. So there's, the fight's done. I don't have pounders. There's no pounders on this. Okay, I did die, okay, that's fair. Still, I finished it. I got it. So let's go ahead and just crunch a few things here. I'm now past that fight. I'm to the next one. And this is where you can start collecting your Vulcan raid armor. Now, if I had 8 more strength during that fight, I would have been at 50 strength, and I would have beat him before he killed me. That's how I was doing it when I first started. It was fine. Perfect. So I'm going to drop this quest, and I'm going to swap to my Vulcan armor, because the only thing it benefits me on is that it has strength, right? It has the same 5 troubleshooter pieces. The third effect is through hikers and then has no effect on the fight. The fourth effect is reflective, that only affects phase 1. And as you see, phase 1, even without reflective, can go very, very quickly. So I'm gonna basically put this armor down. Well, I'm gonna put it down, I'm gonna get out of it. The hodgepodge set. Pick that up. I'm gonna put down my Vulcan raid set. And again, the only thing that's different is it has strength on 4 more pieces, and it has the reflective. I was doing this in this power armor even before I had the reflective on there, and it was still just fine. The way that works is try to get your luck higher than nothing. You know, the higher your luck is, the better your chances of getting a ricochet. And the better chance that you're gonna hit that shield, it's gonna get crippled, or however the math works there, that it goes down very quickly. Dry mouth. So let's look at this armor again. You can see it has strength, troubleshooters and strength, through hikers. There's nothing special about through hikers other than carry weight, because it saves me even having to put, those were the ones that I got quickly. I couldn't craft arms keepers yet. Now I can. But I'm just gonna keep this set for now. I don't really need arms keepers on it. Okay, so what's my tactic here? I jump up, I approach this center bubble, and you'll notice that when you get close to it, if you nudge forward with the W key, it won't let you. I'm trying to move forward and it will let me. This is my spot where I stand. And I turn and I face the door, specifically this little nodule that sticks out. And I drop my EN06 protection using just the normal, like, I'm not dropping it, I'm using it as if I want to get into it, right? So I have about a minute and a half, 2 minutes to do this. I have to make sure that I'm not carrying any stim packs or diluted stim packs. So I'm gonna drop all my stim packs, because the medics that's on these chests will use the lowest level stim pack, and you don't want it to do that. You're gonna see this doesn't go much faster. I'll probably survive this, but it's not gonna be like amazing. It's not gonna be in 10 seconds, like with Furious and Pounders. But it should be doable, provided he doesn't knock me off. Here, let me take a whiskey and a Psychotats, or a Psycho Buff, because I was always fully buffed from the very beginning, even when I didn't have any armor from here. Okay, hopefully 1105. Yeah, having those 10 extra strength, This is about where yeah, this looks familiar. This looks like good numbers. And again, even if you die every single time, yeah, this looks good. See, it's totally doable. Without Pounders, without Furious, you can survive the fight. I didn't have to have Reflective on this. I do, but that didn't really add anything to the phase 2 part, which is the hard part, right? Oh, another thing that you can do is if you run into trouble, like if you place down the power armor and you accidentally pick it up instead of jumping on top of it, because I've done that before, just JR, drop that quest. It'll port you right back out before the fight even begins. Let's try that. Let's try that again, just so you can see it using the crappy gear, or what would simulate the crappy gear. So this Vulcan armor is very nice. Don't get me wrong. It has, you know, some passive perks built into it, but those are not really necessary. In fact, I'll take the helm off. I think that breaks the set, doesn't it? Because the helm is doing nothing for me as far as combat goes. It's just turning on the AP regen and whatever the other effect is. Let's see. Fusion core duration. I don't care about that. Okay, so I took that off. Notice how it broke the set. Now I no longer have those effects, because see how the little tag at the end goes hollow? That means I'm not getting those effects. So this one truly is just like my original baby crappy troubleshooter hodgepodge set, save for the fact that it has 8 more strength. So again, I'm going to come here. This is where my little stop spot is. I'm moving forward. Nothing's happening. I'm stuck. I turn around. I hit EN. This is it's just a hollow shell. There's nothing in it. It's just an empty power frame. Come over here. You have plenty of time. You don't need to hurry. I'm going to drop the stim packs. Hit the button. Jump over. Jump up. I go sideways so I don't accidentally use it. I'm going to crouch, move over until that little yellow circle, the targeting circle, or not circle, square, targeting square, sorry, is sort of like right on that white spot on the top of the chassis. I'm just going to stand here. And yes, the reflective helped there, but as you saw with the other armor, it clearly was not necessary. Oh, this is the weird bumpy up and down. It sometimes does this. And you can see that my AP is coming down even faster now. But I'm still finishing in time, right? Yeah. I still didn't die. So anyone can do this, assuming they have, you know, sufficient level to buy enough perks. So let's look at these perks and look at the build real quick. Obviously, you're going to have to collect a bunch of food, a bunch of chems. Those are not hard to get now. And I'm using one extra trick to help, but you can probably still do this without it. And that is I'm using, in this case, one of my alts, but you can just have a friend group with you, assuming you have friends. And either you can take an empath serum, or they can just be an empath. Whoever is in combat, you really should be an empath. Or sorry, let me say that again. If you're the one taking damage and you are an empath, you really want to take the serum. Because if you don't, you're taking an extra 6% damage. See this right here? Yeah, being an empath is great. You take minus 33% team damage, right? That's wonderful. That damage is just off the combat table. But if you're the empath of the group, you're taking another 6%. So you can counteract this negative effect by taking an empath potion. I'm not going to do that. Just if you want to solo this, you can. Just to do that, you would probably want to take the empath potion, and you'd probably also want to find a magazine that gives you less damage from robots, right? Where is it? I forget what it's called. Awesome Tales 8, I think. And then Live and Love 9? Yeah, here it is. So if you can find this, this will save you a lot on phase 1 if you're struggling with that. It's not going to do anything for you on phase 2 because you don't take any damage then. So just, there's that. What could help you on phase 2 is if you can find the one where you do damage to robots. I don't have the number handy, but there is a magazine where you do like 10, 15, 20% more damage to robots. Okay, there's the other minus damage. Do I have the robot one? You could also use the melee bobblehead. That might be an option. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but there is a magazine that lets you do more damage to robots, so that's good. You could also put you could probably put troubleshooters on this. So let's try that. Let's put troubleshooters on this baby crap axe, right? Instead of anti-armor. Do I have a troubleshooters? Yes. Okay, so let's put a troubleshooters on that auto axe and see if that sort of pushes us over. All right, so where? Oh, mods. Duh, I can read. I mean, honestly, the anti-armor effect is not that strong, considering that you also have Incisor on there, right here, right? So we're already ignoring a great deal of armor, which is why the Furious effect, well, even before that, I as you can see, the, well, you can't see it, but I was using Aristocrats when I was sort of like hodgepodging it. After I got rid of anti-armor, I thought, well, if I can just use a straight 50% damage increase, then that might be better than the anti-armor. And it was by a little bit. So the anti-armor effect is not super, super critical on the auto axe. So now we have troubleshooters. Let's see if we can get that thing down faster. I'm gonna take my Psycho buff and my whiskey. Again, I was using all of these same buffs from the very beginning. Those are all buffs you need to collect to get at least your strength way high. If you can boost your luck as well, that's great. Like I put luck on my sledge so that I could get my luck just a little bit higher. That helps a lot before you get reflective armor. At least using this method.
Evacuation is in progress. Please proceed to the nearest exit in an orderly manner.
All right, so I'm on the bubble. I can't go backwards anymore. I'm trying to go backwards. I'm just gonna drop my, well, no, I'm not dropping them here. Okay, my EN06 protection frame is there. I'm gonna come over here. And let's drop group. So, leave team, right? Oh, I guess I can't do it that way, duh. Okay, it doesn't like that. Live and learn. But I do want to be in a team. So I'm gonna do an endurance team, that way I get just a little bit more survivability in phase 1. But you saw basically my little technique for where I place the power armor. I just find that little nub in the middle. I sort of, my feet are up against it and I can't get past it because it has that little, it has like a ridge. You don't see the ridge, you know, visually, but as far as like the no-go zone, that's this invisible, you know, walls that keep you out of things. The invisible rectangular or octagonal nub that you can't get over if you just slide. Okay, I'm up against that. I do this much faster when I'm actually running it for real. Okay. I just let it automatically go at that spot based on, okay. Probably should have done that first. Okay. Okay, now we're in, I have the primary, I use numbers for this, so I'm in my sledge first, as you can see right there.
Unauthorized personnel detected.
Now, what will really hurt here, a couple things. One, I am mutated, but I have strange numbers, but it's not going to do anything because I'm not paired with anyone. So I can probably do phase 1 okay. You know, if I have to, I'll just hit another stim pack. But hopefully the Troubleshooters mod makes up for the difference there. It's going to be close. Especially since I might run out of AP, I should have had a coffee. Or done a well-tuned buff. Yeah, so this is a no-go. So I could go like that and take some coffee and then crank down some more maybe. I think I'll finish it, but I'll die. Yeah, so you can finish it. You can finish it solo. It's just, it's so much easier if you're with someone because this strange in numbers, right, benefits all the food, all the carnivore food I'm eating. So I had, here, I'll show you what I'm eating and what I recommend. Death Claw Wellington. Here it's giving me 6 strength. When I'm mutated, it'll give me 8. So that's 2 extra there. Seared venison with berries is luck. That doesn't matter as much. The other one that matters is the melee-specific food. Tasty Yogi Roast, right? So when I'm with someone who's also mutated, that gives me 213% extra melee damage percentage. Now it's only 170. It's not very great. So let's try something here. Let's try using a, I guess I don't have any, do I not have any melee baubles? Or they're on me, right? Here, let's open these. Oh, that's weird. Why don't I have melee baubles? I thought I saw a bunch of magazine baubles. Oh, there they are. I'm looking in the wrong column. Brain dead, sorry. Okay, so let's try melee, right? So we'll try the melee bauble and see what that does. So I'm gonna drop this quest. Again, this is just to try to get you over the hump when you're starting out, you know, doing this.
Yeah.
Ordinarily, I would take a leader bauble. But I took the melee bauble. Hopefully it makes up for the fact that I'm not with another mutated player in my group. The funny thing is, once you get pounders, all of these problems go away. For now. You can come in with my same build, obviously, you know, the gear, same sledge, same cards, same point distribution, you don't even have to have a food buff. You don't have to have a magazine buff. You don't have to have a bobblehead buff. You just come in and just erase this boss with Pounders and Furious. Just that combo is insane. Okay, so I'm right there. Again, I normally do this faster, but I'm talking. I don't even try to get the right distance there when I'm placing it. I just know if I'm butted up against that ring that won't let me pass anymore, that imaginary ring. Okay, drop it. Don't take it. There we go. I'm gonna take another Psycho Buff and a whiskey. Okay, and first weapon. Okay, good.
Alert. Unauthorized personnel detected. Activating defenses.
So yeah, getting your aim right on the armor is stressful for a while until you've done it like 20 times and then you're like, oh, this is easy. Third person, supposedly better damage in the second phase. It's not significantly better, but it is better. It's bumping up to 850s occasionally. I'm gonna have to take a few coffees. I should have taken them first. But this should still finish. Now, if I hadn't taken those coffees, if I hadn't just stopped right there, I probably could have finished without dying. Will I die? Will I die? Will I die? Yes, I died. Okay, yeah. Those few seconds there was probably enough to kill me. So yeah. That's just, I'm not habituated to using coffee because I'm used to having all the pieces of the Vulcan set, right? But I'm just showing it's doable. So that's my technique. I'll show you my build here more slowly. Obviously, this requires being a higher level player, but you could probably do this without a lot of this. Some of this is quality of life, so I could take this off. I could take off Pack Rats. I could take off Refractor, Chem Fiend. Like, this is pointless. Whoops. Strange in Numbers is pointless if I am not with a group, right? So I can just take that off. What did I just take off? It's an alcohol one, right? There we go, Party Boy. But this wouldn't matter either. You just drink the alcohol and it lasts 3 minutes. Tenderizer, of course. Field Surgeon important. First Aid important. Not needed. These are needed if you're using the electrified mod. That's not even necessary. Your weapon just breaks faster. You don't need Packing Light. You need Ricochet. You probably want Class Freak, although you can just take mutation serums to suppress the negative effects. You don't need Junk Shield. You don't need Good with Salt. I would use Bloody Mess. You don't need Lucky Draw. You don't need Curator. So these cards right here, and really, if you have good armor, you wouldn't even need Life Giver. Like if you took a really good health buff, maybe you have an endurance food, and you have a health food as well, stack those up, you might not even need Life Giver. But anyway, if you were to move these points down, obviously you'd be losing strength. I would say put as many points as you can in strength. That's your most important stat. Your second most important one is endurance. That's your survivability. And then you only have to have enough perks to hold these particular cards. Now, of course, luck will benefit phase 1, so you want to get that high if you can. But I'd say the strength and endurance are super important. Luck would be secondary, and the rest is just enough to hold the cards. Beyond that, I would prioritize taking one for the team. Very, very, very good card when the enemy is attacking you, which it is the whole time. Without this, I would not be able to do this fight. In fact, let's take it off and see what it does. I'm gonna go back to my, actually, no, let's just keep this build the way it is, without any perks. Oops, why does it swap over? That's weird. It's so boring having to watch you run all the way back. Okay, whatever. First, let's do it. I'll do it without the card equipped, and then I'll do it with the card equipped without changing any of the perk cards. We'll see how bad this can get if you don't have that card in there. If you're just starting out, like why you would want to prioritize leveling that one up for this fight. Okay, I'm in the right spot. Spin around. Drop the armor. Well, not drop it, but place it. Whoops. Oh, I miss you, jetpack. All right. Why do I miss the jetpack? Because I have medics on my chest, which is why when I dip below 50%, it heals me.
Unauthorized personnel detected. Activating defense systems.
Let's see how bad this is. Oh, and let's take off the helm, right? I'll take a bunch of coffees right before. See how far I can get before it kills me. Whoops. There we go. 7:39, it'll be a death, but I think I'll finish it.
Warning, energy usage critical. Temperatures reaching unsafe levels. Security filter on.
Oh, and there we go. Since I don't have any perks, I'm going to drop the quest, and I don't die. Isn't that fun? Don't finish, but I don't die. It's like the escape valve. Baby axe is broken, yes, because I'm not using the perks that make it survive longer. And I could quickly use a repair thing, but I'll do that here. I'll use an improved kit. All right, let's try that again. That was hilarious. I wonder how many coffees I have left. 50. No, it's not coffee. That's coffee. 95. Good. Maybe I should title this a Let's Play. That way people aren't like, why is this not edited down? It's one of those Let's Play things.
This is an automated message. Evacuation is in progress. Please proceed to the nearest exit in an orderly manner.
Hey, I made it this time. Okay, so... And I shouldn't have any of those. No, I don't. Okay, good.
Alert. Unauthorized personnel detected. Activating defense systems.
All right. Get rid of that. Take a health pot. Crouch down. I just took a bunch of coffees. Come on. There we go. This might be a death.
Critical. Temperatures reaching unsafe levels.
We can jump up a little bit here and there.
Take shelter.
Just don't panic. Just write it out. Write it all the way to the end. There we go. Once you see the loot window, you're done. You'll die, but who cares? You don't lose anything. It's not like you're carrying a bunch of junk. So you do this, you sort of tough your way through, you get some good mods, maybe you get pounders if you're super lucky, and then you can keep going. So, and that's without that card. So let's go ahead and put that back in. Taking one for the team. So, and of course, you don't have to have all these cards to 4 like I do, right? I'd say this one, if you can get it to 4, that'd be fantastic. But these could easily be, 2 each. I mean, how many points am I not even using here? 4, 13, 17, 23, 26, 34. I'm not even using 34 of the points that are being given to me here. So that's most of them, right? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I could do this with none of those cards equipped. So you should be able to do this. No problem. At least to get over that hump of your starting gear and, toughen it out. Of course, you're gonna have to go find a spare set of power armor. Why does it switch? That's weird. All the other things I'm doing just makes it easier and safer. That's all I'm doing. Having more perks, having my alt here to share the empath and be a mutated character as well. So let's just see what it looks like when everything's firing on all cylinders. Okay, so I'm back in my full raid build. This is when I'm fully going, and do I still have all the buffs? I don't really need them. Yeah, I still have some of those buffs. So I'm gonna have my other character join. And you'll see the 6s right here, here, and here went to 8. The melee damage went from 170 to 213. That's all because this character is mutated. That's it. And because he's using the Strange in Numbers card. Right? That's it. That's all that does. It just makes those foods stronger because he's a carnivore. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. He's a carnivore. Otherwise, the food would do nothing. So, in this setup, I am not going to take... Right now, my Psycho buff dropped off. That's a chunk of melee damage, a chunk of strength, so I'm not going to pop that. When I get inside, I'm going to grab my Pounder's weapon, just so we can enjoy the luxury of a fast kill. Not that you have to have it. As I've shown, you don't have to have it. It just takes a lot longer, and you don't die, which is always nice. I really hate that bounce. All right, auto X. I'm gonna put in the baby one. I'm gonna crunch this Valkyrie because I already have one and I don't need 2. And they weigh a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna bind that to... No, I don't want that there. So I'm gonna find the weapon. I'm going to hit C to unfavorite it and then favorite it here. Where are you? Raid 2 auto axe. There you go. Now this one does have Furious, Heavy Hitters, Strength, and Pounders. So, and my actual raid build does not use any science cards because it uses poisoners, right?
Please proceed to the nearest exit in an orderly manner.
Or, well, I suppose I should show you the weapon. See, poisoned. All right. Am I in that spot? Wasn't paying enough attention. Yeah, I am. Okay, so armor, EN protection, goes in that spot. Jump over here. Okay, yeah, aid.
I wonder if mutations change your food preferences. Not that I...
That's
Alert.
my
Unauthorized personnel detected.
camp
Activating defense system.
dude, camp lady, talking to my alt. So phase 1 is exactly the same. That's never changed. And really only the luck value right here has much of an effect in this part. And of course survivability from endurance in the endurance perks. But as far as combat goes, what you're really interested in is the luck amount. So this is without a helmet with the pounders. With no psycho buff.
Warning, energy usage critical. Temperature
And you can see
unsafe
no
zone.
helmet, see? No
Security
helmet.
bunker online.
So the pounders basically covers a multitude of sins. So if you can get your hands on one, that makes the phase 2 fight so much better, even if you don't have Furious. I mean, Furious takes it to the next level. I was getting about 2,000, I think, maybe 2,400 with pounders before I put Furious on there. That's with all the engines firing, right? All the buffs going. And that's really good. You can finish in record time. Well, not record time, now that we've figured out Furious and pounders together. But I just wanted to show you my technique, where I'm standing, my build, what I have. I can show you my chems or my effects that I have going. That would be under K. So down here is what we want. I'm a full health build at the moment, so that's the safest way to do it. So adrenal reaction is doing nothing. Bird bones is doing nothing. Carnivore is one of the two really big ones here. Oh, I think I accidentally took an empath buff or an empath serum. No wonder I was taking more damage. I'll have to get rid of all my mutations and re-get them. Eagle Eyes does nothing for me. Egghead does nothing for me. Empath is actually hurting me a little bit, because otherwise I would get only the good parts from my alt. Herd mentality is nice. Get yourself up by 3 special across the board, even if you're just by yourself in a group. The only other one that does anything would be Twisted Muscles, because of the 35% melee damage chance to cripple. But that's only in phase 1. That only affects phase 1. And I could probably still do it without that in phase 1 because of the sledge. It's just, this makes it more likely that it'll do more damage and so forth. Maybe Talons helps with phase 1, or I don't know, but phase 2, obviously that's going to be very helpful. You're going to want Talons for phase 2. And then beyond that, hydrated and fed. You're going to want those always up. Always. Don't ever let those go down. Why do people let those fall down? You're hurting yourself. Try to get your strength as high as you can get it. Get your luck high. Get your endurance high. And you should be good to go. And that's all for tonight.